Well, the Salvadorian MS-13 Maryland dad drama continues, and so many people are saying about what about due process? What about everybody deserves due process once they are in American soil? And well, as Insurrection Barbie says, when Obama deported people without due process, no one heard a word about it. When Trump does it, it's a constitutional crisis. And yes, Obama did that with all the cold blood in the world. Why wasn't a problem back then? This is the reason why.
Will this administration continue to oversee the deportation of 400,000 people a year?
As long as Congress gives us the money to deport 400,000 people a year, that's what the administration is going to do. That's our obligation under the law. We will be strategic about how we do it, and the number of those folks who are either criminals or recent arrivals will continue to go up. But yes, this is our obligation under the law. And while we have the debate about reforming the law, we must enforce it, and we will do that.
Are you saying that this administration believes that there are 400,000 serious criminals who are not in jail right now and who should be deported?
Yeah, it was all right. So there's a 400,000 per year, right? It should be, that is the cap that the Obama administration could deport in a single year. I guess that's what they have budget for. And this was an interesting question. So you're telling me that there are 400,000 criminals out there. More of them, of course. We're talking about for over 4 years. We would be talking about 1.5 million. Which, of course, it's known to anybody. It's an open secret that it would be way much more of those. So you're telling me that there's at least 400,000 of these criminals walking out there free, and how are you going to deport them? How's that going to work?
400,000 people. Where are you going to find them if you're saying that your emphasis is only on serious criminals?
As I pointed out, of the people that we remove, of the 400,000 people removed in the last year, about half of them are serious criminals under the definition in immigration law.
Criminals under the definition of immigration law. What does that mean? What is the simplest way to say that somebody committed a crime, that they crossed the border illegally? And crossing the border illegally automatically makes them a criminal. So that's point number one. That's the single most important thing, that people are missing the point when they are overreacting to whatever Trump is doing right now.
And the vast majority of the other half are either recent arrivals, people who are in the process of crossing at the border, or people who have recently been deported or who had previously been deported and are reentering. So that makes up the bulk of the 400,000 in previous years, and if the trends continue, that'll be reflected in the next 400,000 that we remove. But Congress passed a law, and Congress appropriates funds to implement that law, and the executive branch's job is to enforce it.
Yeah, that is the job, to enforce it. But the problem is, are you going to give due process to 400,000 people? No, why would you? Because that is the point. They already committed a crime. We're not talking that they were, smuggling drugs or people or more serious crimes. No, the only reason, the only principle in which they crossed the border illegally, that was common sense at the time. But right now, no, you cannot do that. You have to grant everybody due process. So which one is it? You either give that to people or you don't give that to people. Why could Obama get away with it? Quote unquote, get away with it. I shouldn't be saying get away with it, because we know that is the logical thing to do. If somebody enters your house illegally, if somebody breaks into your house, you shouldn't need, or you wouldn't want a judge to tell you that you cannot kick them out unless they have a due process. No, that shouldn't work like that. That is insanity. But that is what happened in the United States, and that's what happened in so many other countries. In this case, in the United States, these judges have gone pretty much insane, because I don't think that they are aligned with the interests and the safety of Americans, which is which is a shame, right? Because they should have some kind of morals attached to their job. But
how we do it matters a lot. But the president can't say to the Congress, I'm not going to bother to enforce this particular law because these are really compelling people. That's not how democracy works.
all right, there you have it. So, as Zig Argam says, funny how Democrats advocate for criminal justice reform, but literally change the law so they could prosecute Trump. They make a big deal out of Hexeth, clearly Christian cross tattoo, but ignore MS-13 tattoos on a Maryland man. They claim to be the party of tolerance, but will destroy your Tesla, swat your house, and literally attack you and your children if you hold right-leaning beliefs. They're losing and they're desperate. Hold the line. Yeah, this is something that we are just getting started through this administration, and this is what we are getting. The common sense approach is hard to enforce because so many people are against this, and so many people that I don't understand. The people that, well, I can understand that they have been brainwashed into voting for Kamala Harris, and they support men in women's sports and restrooms. Okay, they support children transitioning. I guess that they vibe with that. They support criminals staying inside the United States. They support these huge budgets and spending of the United States on other countries, on projects that doesn't benefit any American citizen. But I guess that some people would do anything only to be against Trump. Mrs. Jensen, it will only get more desperate, more aggressive, and more violent. They are only a few months in. We must stay united and hold the line. There's no other option. Jason Mack, nothing is off limits to them. The virtual signaling is off the charts, and they don't have any. They want. I'm sure that they want, the Democrats, and how to say this? They want something to hang on to, and all that they have found is this MS-13 guy. That's all that they got, and that's why most of them are rallying behind it. But as I made a mention in another video, I commented in another video, the higher profile ones are keeping their mouth shut. Have you realized? You realize that AOC has said nothing about this? At least I haven't heard from AOC about the MS-13 guy. I'm gonna post that question on my X just to see what I find. But yeah, so many people are trying to avoid this, and the ones who have no other option, well, they're rallying behind Kilmar Garcia. Maverick Alexander, way too many conservatives are stuck in the cycle of where was the rule of law when we were being invaded. We know we share no guiding morals or principles with them. You can't verbally checkmate people whose only goal is your destruction. Wake up. You cannot negotiate with people like that. You cannot argue with people like that. It's simply not possible. So, well, this is what we got right now, but I would like to know what you think about this in the comments. Due process or not due process? Just speed up the deportation? Let me know in the comments. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the Power Pundit. Much love and bliss.